Today we got great news for you as the Wrapped Putin Coin token is finally ready. And today we are going to talk about what's a token, how to use it, and how to get it. Okay, first we have to explain the difference between a coin and a token. A coin has got its own blockchain, like Putin Coin has got its own blockchain where you can stake coins, where you can transfer coins from staking wallet to mobile wallet and whatsoever, and which is listed on several spot exchanges like Xegex, for instance, or Phemex at the moment. A token, in contrast, is not a coin of its own. It's just a blockchain unit which is sitting on an existing smart contract chain like Ethereum or Binance Chain. This token is used to be traded on decentralized finance or DeFi markets like PancakeSwap, for instance. PancakeSwap is a very known decentralized finance market which can be used like an exchange but runs solely on the blockchain. So you don't need to have KYC, you don't need to submit any personal data, and your tokens are always safe on your wallet as long as they are not traded. When they are traded, in the point of trade, they are taken from your wallet and you get from the other wallet your traded tokens, what you have bought or sold at the moment. So this opens a new market to the whole Putin Coin community, a market which is so fantastic, which enables us to have so much possibilities that Putin Coin will benefit a lot of it. How do we now get to these tokens, which can be traded on decentralized finance markets? And I can tell you it's a very easy process. To get such tokens, we just need to convert normal Putin coins into those tokens and vice versa. And to do so, we have built a website which is called Bridge, because it's bridging the real Putin coin world with the smart contract world and vice versa. To get to this bridge, you just need to enter putincoin.2 and hit enter. When you get to this bridge and you haven't installed MetaMask, which is a smart contract wallet, it's the most broadly used smart contract wallet, and that's why we've decided to concentrate on it, you will get this message that you need to install MetaMask on your browser. MetaMask is a browser extension, and you can just hit this link to proceed, and you will get to the download link for MetaMask. So just hit the link, and then you follow the process which the MetaMask tells you, and within a few steps you've got your smart contract MetaMask wallet ready. When you now have got your mask ready, you go back to putincoin.2, and then you see the button connect with MetaMask. Okay? Then you can be sure that the bridge site has detected that you've got MetaMask installed and that you're all ready to go. Sometimes it happens, mostly in Firefox, don't know why, that when you go back to Putin Coin 2, he's still telling you that you need to install MetaMask, although you have already installed it, like we can see here. In this case, you just need to hit refresh, and that's it. And you have got the connect to MetaMask button and can proceed. But before we proceed, we need to make sure that our MetaMask is connected to the correct blockchain. As I told you before, there are several smart contract blockchains existing like Ethereum, Binance Chain, Polygon, Tron, and we have decided, as you can see here above, that we build our token on the Binance Smart Chain in first place. There are other chains to follow in the near future, but we are starting with Binance Smart Chain. Why? Because the Binance Smart Chain has got very cheap fees. Like Ethereum is very expensive at the moment because there are a lot of transactions on Ethereum, so you have to pay at least $10 to $40 for an Ethereum transaction, and that's not very reasonable. So we decided to go and start with Binance Smart Chain in first place. And now, as we know that we are on the Binance Smart Chain with the wrapped Putin coin token, we need to make sure that our MetaMask wallet is connected to this Binance Smart Chain. And in most cases, MetaMask is not connected to the Binance Smart Chain in first place, so we need to have to make these settings in the MetaMask. So how do we now connect our MetaMask to the Binance Smart Chain? Because in most cases, MetaMask is not connected to the Binance Smart Chain in first place. It's not very difficult. We go to the MetaMask we just installed, and then we hit these 3 points menu, go to settings, and then we go to networks. How do we now add the Binance Smart Chain to our MetaMask wallet? As we can see, Ethereum mainnet, Linea, Phantom, and several testnets are already connected, but Binance Smart Chain is missing. We just have to hit Add Network. Then we are redirected to a settings page, and here you can see BNB chain, and that's what we need to select. We just have to hit Add and then Approve, and that's it. And he also proposes to us switch to BNB chain, which we will do now. Okay, got it. And when we can now close this page and go back to MetaMask, you see that we are now connected to the BNB chain. So now we're all set to connect our MetaMask to our Putin coin token bridge. To do so, just hit anywhere outside the MetaMask and the MetaMask window closes. And then we have to just click on Connect with MetaMask. MetaMask opens again with an info page that Putin Coin 2 wants to connect with the MetaMask, and we just have to hit Next and then Connect. And when we have connected, we see that we have new buttons here which we can use. And there are 2 buttons. It's the Wrap Putin Coin button and the Unwrap W Putin Coin button. When we want to get Wrap Putin Coin tokens, when we want to wrap our normal Putin coins into Wrap Putin Coin tokens, we have to hit this button. And when we want to unwrap our W Putin Coin tokens into normal Putin coins again, we have to hit this button. That's all. But before we go into details about those 2 processes, I want to explain the additional information we got on this page, and this information is also very important. First of all, FAQ. So if you got lost, if you don't know how to use the wallet, if you hadn't had this video tutorial before, you just have to hit FAQ, and there the whole process how to use the Putin coin bridge is explained in detail. As I will do it now, we can go back and we'll have a look at the other informations which we have got on this page. The first information is the token contract. The token contract is the basis of the Putin coin token on the Binance Smart Chain. When we hit it, it will open a new window, and in this window we see the token W Putin coin or W put, and the basis of the token and all transactions which were made using this token. So it's like the blockchain in the blockchain, and this is the explorer for it. Most important thing is this, the contract address, the address of the Putin coin token. I just want to have a detailed look on it because we will need it later on. So this address is very important. When we go back to the Putin coin bridge, we also see 2 other informations on the main page. The one information we got here is total Putin coin wrapped, and the other is custodian balance. What are these values? Total Putin coin wrapped means how much W Putin coin tokens exist. And at the moment, see, we have got 23,341,491 Putin coin tokens in existence. And the custodian balance is how much normal Putin coins, real Putin coins, are custodied or hosted in the bridge to take care that those wrapped Putin coin tokens can safely be rewrapped to normal Putin coins and vice versa. You see, there must be at least the same, but in most cases more real Putin coins in the bridge than tokens are existing. Because when you unwrap your Putin coin tokens, you destroy your Putin coin tokens or burn it, like this is in the blockchain jargon, and you get your normal Putin coins out of this custodian balance. If there won't be enough Putin coins in this custodian balance, then it would not be possible to unwrap Putin coin. So you just have to take care and have a look that there are always more Putin coins in the bridge than wrapped Putin coins are existing. As this is the case, you can safely wrap your Putin coin and unwrap your Putin coins. One last step we have to do before we go to wrap Putin coins. We need to add the Putin coin token to our MetaMask wallet so that our MetaMask wallet knows the exact amount of W Putin coins tokens we have got in our wallet. Because you see, at the moment, you just got your BNB balance and no Putin coin is listed here, no Putin coin token. We go to add Putin coin token to MetaMask, click on it. MetaMask opens and it tells us add token, and that's where we click and we say Putin coin was added to MetaMask, and we reopen MetaMask now. We see that we now got our W Putin coin tokens added to our mask. Our balance is 0, which can surely be made better, and that's why we now hit wrap Putin coin. When we hit wrap Putin coin, we go to the wrapping process, which consists of about 5 steps. The first step is you have to enter the amount of Putin tokens you want to swap. Then you have to send this amount in real coins into the bridge. Then you need to wait for the admin verification. Then you can generate your W put, and then it's complete. Before we start, we have to talk about one specialty of the smart contract blockchains. In order to do any smart contract transactions, you have to pay network fees, gas fees like they are called. It's like in the Putin coin blockchain or the Bitcoin blockchain where you have to have transaction fees. In the smart contract blockchains, they are called gas fees. And these gas fees have to be always paid in the base token of the respective smart contract network. Like in Ethereum, it's Ether, or in the Binance chain, it's the Binance coin, yeah, or in Tron, it's the Tron coin. So we have to take care that on our MetaMask there are enough Binance coins so that we can do any smart contract transactions like wrapping our Putin coin tokens. When we hit on our MetaMask, we see that our Binance balance is 0, and that's too less to use the bridge. So we need to get Binance coins from exchange, or maybe we've got some in another wallet and we need to send it to our MetaMask we've got here. I've got some Binance coins in another MetaMask, so I will copy this address of this MetaMask wallet and go back to the other MetaMask wallet where we got some Binance coins. Just enter my password. And you see I've got some Binance coins here, and I send them to this address I just copied. And like I said, the Binance blockchain is very cheap. I think when we send 0.02, which is about 11 US dollars in value, we have got enough to pay all our fees for a lot of transactions. So we hit next and confirm, and then we can go back to our other MetaMask wallet where we now want to wrap with. We need to wait until the sending has been confirmed by the blockchain. This will be now. We have got our Binance coins ready for paying all the transactions fees needed for wrapping Putin coins. Next step will be we have to enter an amount on how much Putin coins we want to wrap into W Putin coin tokens. And as you can see, nothing happens when I enter just 100. Nothing happens when I enter just 1000. When I enter 10,000, I got the wrap Putin coin button here. Why is this? Because there is a minimum value on how much Putin coins you have to wrap, and this minimum amount is 10,000 Putin coins. Why we did this? Because it would be too cumbersome to maintain all small amounts like 1 Putin coin or 10 Putin coins, and 10,000 is a very good average, so you need to swap or wrap at least 10,000 Putin coins into Putin coin token, otherwise it won't work. You don't need to have a whole amount. You can also have decimals, like we say we want to add 10,000.2548 Putin coins, which should be converted into the bridge. And then when we did so, we can hit wrap Putin coin. What we now see is also that because our wallet is connected to the bridge, our wallet address, our MetaMask address, you see, 0B5C whatsoever, 326 at the end is already filled out automatically on here, and the Binance chain is also the default selection for this field. You just have to enter the amount, and then you have to enter wrap Putin coin. So now you see we entered the wrapping session, wrap session successfully created, and this is the second step. We now got a generated QR code and a generated receiving Putin coin address, a real Putin coin address in the normal Putin coin blockchain, where we have to send this 10,000.2548 real Putin coins to. And please transfer exactly this amount, no less and no more, just this amount. That's why we generated a copy button here and also a copy button for the receiving address when you don't use a mobile wallet. When you use the Putin coin mobile wallet, you just have to scan this QR code and address and amount will be filled out in your wallet automatically. But we just want to show it with a normal wallet like the web wallet, and therefore we go to the web wallet. The web wallet has got putincoin.net as a domain, and then I can log in into my web wallet here. It's admin putincoin.org. And then I also need second factor authentication, and I can log in now. So we see I now got 38,000 Putin coins on my web wallet, which is enough to pay those 10,000.2548. And I just go to transfer Putin coins here, go back to the bridge, and I copy the address first and enter it here, and then I go back and copy the amount with this button. I also enter it here, and then we go to send, and withdrawal successful. The coins are on its way to the bridge. And now we have to wait for about 6 confirmations on the Putting Coin blockchain so that the bridge will forward us to the next step automatically. You need enough transformations that your transaction has been made for sure before the bridge will go to the next step. So we have to wait for 6 confirmations, and if you fall out of the browser because you accidentally close a tab, or the browser went down because your computer reset it, or it's also on mobile because the mobile phone has got no battery, you can just open another window or a new window, go to Putting Coin 2, connect with your MetaMask again, go to Wrap Putting Coin again, and you come back to this second step where you have been kicked out. And this is true for all other steps. And now we just have to wait for the 6 confirmations to be effective. This might take a while. I think the average time for 6 confirmations is about 10 minutes or so. As you can safely close every window of the bridge and you will be redirected to the respective step where you left, you can also safely close this window when you've got no time to wait for it, or when you need your browser for other things. And after 10 or 15 minutes, you revisit the bridge, go to Wrap Putting Coin again, and you will reach the respective step. I now decide to wait for 6 confirmations to show what the bridge will do next. So now you see we got our 6 confirmations, and the bridge automatically redirected us to the next step. The next step is wait for admin verification. Now there is a very important information I need to give you. The bridge charges a little fee for its services because it needs to be hosted, it needs to be paid, and whatsoever. And this fee is 1% of the amount you want to wrap. As we can see here, we want to wrap 10,000.2548, and the fee will be 100 and a few little after the comma, and these 100 are deducted from the amount you will get in tokens. So you will get less tokens than you wrap Putting Coins because the fee is deducted in Putting Coin tokens from the tokens you get. And in this step now, as it is called, wait for admin verification, we need to wait for an admin verification. The admin of the bridge is now contacted automatically by the bridge and is informed that there is someone who wants to swap or wrap 10,000.2548 Putting Coins, see and control if these 10,000.2548 Putting Coins have been paid in real Putting Coins, and when they have been paid and he sees it in the bridge wallet, he will then release those 9,900.252252 wrap Putting Coins, which will enable you to get them to your MetaMask wallet. This admin verification could take up to 24 hours, as the admin is a human, and a human needs to sleep sometime and also has other things to do. But in average, the admin verification will be done within 5-10 minutes to 6 hours. But it could take up to 24 hours if the admin is very busy. So what can you do now? Do you need to sit 24 hours in front of your screen? No, you haven't. You just could close the bridge. As we said, we can enter each step automatically. It will be saved in our browser, and we can now do something else and can revisit the Putting Coin 2 bridge from time to time and see if the admin verification has already been made. Okay, now we waited a little bit, and let's see if the admin has already released our Putting Coin tokens. We go to Putting Coin 2 page again, connect our MetaMask, and go to the Wrap Putting Coin section where we left the session. And yeah, the admin has released our W Putin coin tokens, and all we need to do now is to click onto continue. And when we click on continue, our MetaMask opens and gives us the permission to generate 9,900.252252 Putin coin tokens. All we need to do is to click on confirm, and it takes a little until the transaction is confirmed in the Binance blockchain. And wow, it's fast today. We've got our 10,000.2548 Putin coins wrapped into, you remember? Yes? 9,900.25225 Putin coin tokens. Yeah, you got your first Putin coin tokens, which you can now trade on the DeFi markets. So now that we have some wrapped Putin coin tokens, we can show how to trade them on a decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap. It's not very difficult. You go to PancakeSwap.finance, and then this is the decentralized finance exchange, PancakeSwap, when you or where you can trade your wrapped Putin coins. So how do we do it? We just connect our wallet like we did it with the bridge. Click on connect. Then we select MetaMask because we have a MetaMask, of course. And MetaMask will open, and it will just hit next and connect. And ta-da! You've got your MetaMask connected to the Binance chain of the PancakeSwap digital finance decentralized exchange. So now, how to trade Putin coin tokens. There is one pool, meaning one trading pair for the Putin coin token already set up on PancakeSwap, and it's Putin coin against Binance coin. To get to this, you need to go to trade, then you need to go to swap, and as you can see, because your wallet is connected to the PancakeSwap site, your Pancake coin or Binance coin balance is already shown in this swap mask. On the other hand, the Putin coin token isn't shown because you first need to tell Binance Swap which token you want to trade. And when you select those tokens, you see a lot of tokens, and we also can hit put. Yeah, we find no Putin coin token. Why is this? Because Putin coin token has been listed on PancakeSwap decentralized exchange very shortly, and the trading volume needs to go up so that PancakeSwap automatically lists it in this listing. But no stress, we can import this. And that's why I already said in the beginning of this tutorial the token contract address, which also is shown in the bridge, and you see here. This token contract address, you can click on this button and you will be redirected to this BSC scan site where you can just hit copy the token address, the Putin coin token address, and then you go back to the PancakeSwap exchange and paste the address here. And when you paste the address here, you see wput, Putin coin token, and just import it. So he gives a warning that this is a non-row source because it just got little trading volume at the moment. This will change when the trading volume will get more after time. But as it is a verified token, it tells us this is a very low risk. Okay, and that's where you can see if a token is trustful or not. If here there is a high risk, you should be careful and should get more information about this token. But a low risk just means that token is listed very shortly on PancakeSwap and that it will be viewed a certain time if trading volume gets up and the price develops and whatsoever, and then it will be added to the list we had before, so you don't need to put in the contract address manually anymore, and this will ease up the process. But for now, as we made, you just have to enter the contract address in the search box, and then you get to the Putin Coin WPUT token. So I now understand that is a low risk, and I click on import. So, and now you see our W Putin Coin tokens are also listed here. We have 9,900.25. Yeah, it's rounded up. As we can see, it's the same balance here in our MetaMask. It's the 0.199 Binance coins and the 9,900.252 Putin Coin tokens. So now we can swap and trade. Let's say I want to buy Putin Coin tokens for 0.008. Yeah? And it tells us for 0.008 Binance coins, we will get 7,472 Putin Coin token. Okay, wonderful. That's a cool price. We want to trade and we want to swap. So we click here. Then he just makes a summary of our transaction, which will be made on the Binance Chain smart contract blockchain. And we just have to confirm this swap. Our MetaMask will open automatically. We hit confirm here. And then we need to wait for the blockchain confirmation. Transaction receipt, so we got it. We can close this. And when we now look on our MetaMask, and go here on tokens again, we see, wow, we now got 17,372.27761 Putin Coin token. Yeah, our first trade, we bought Putin Coin tokens. And the buying price in Binance coins was also deducted here. So we can also do it the other way around. If I want to sell W Putin coins tokens against Binance coins, you can click here and switch this direction. And I want to say, yeah, I want to sell, let's say 5,000 Wrapped Putin Coin tokens, yeah, against Binance coins. I will get 0.0053 Binance coins when I sell those 5,000 Putin Coin token. We'll do this now. Swap. And like before, there's a summary. We hit on confirm. MetaMask opens. Okay. And that's custom spending WPUT. We deduct Wrapped Putin Coin tokens from our wallet. And then we hit next, confirm and approve this transaction. So PancakeSwap will deduct our Putin coins, our Wrapped Putin coins, and add Binance coins. This is what I said before. The safety, the additional safety of a decentralized exchange. You always got your tokens and your Binance coins or whatsoever on your MetaMask. They will never put into this exchange just in the moment of exchange, the PancakeSwap will deduct it from your wallet and give you your other coins, like here Binance coins, in this very same moment. In contrast, the spot exchanges, the normal exchanges we know, like Kraken or also Phamex or Xegex, the normal Putin coin is already listed on. You need to give your coins to this exchange. Yeah, you need to transfer the coins into the custody of a third party, like the company which is running this respective spot exchange, and you need to trust that your coins are held safely there. Yeah, there have been a lot of exchanges which went bankrupt, and all the funds of the users of this exchange were lost. This cannot happen on a decentralized exchange, as your funds always stay on a wallet up to the very moment when you swap it or trade it against another token. This is the one big advantage of a decentralized exchange. The next advantage is that you don't need to provide any personal information. Your personal data is safe. You don't need to make a KYC, scan your passport, make a photo of your wonderful head and send it to somebody. No, the decentralized exchange lets you trade without wanting to know anything about you. And that's the second big advantage of a decentralized exchange, and that's why decentralized exchanges are getting more and more popularity. And that's why Putin Coin team wanted to open this market for you by the wrapped Putin Coin token we now got, and which you now can get using the Putin Coin token bridge. So, okay, we want to sell some Putin Coin tokens now. We approve that the PancakeSwap page can deduct the Putin Coin tokens from our wallet and give us the Binance coins. On the other hand, we click on approve. We wait for the blockchain confirmation. Here we need to do another signature. A signature means that this is a digital signature which enables you to use the PancakeSwap services, and this is also anonymous. This is also just a contract, a smart contract between PancakeSwap and your wallet, not between you and some company like it's in the normal spot exchange world. So we just hit to sign it, can safely hit sign, and the exchange swap is started. So we see here we will swap 5,000 W Putin coins against 0.053 Binance coins. When you get kicked out of your wallet, you don't need to be afraid. You just go here and open your MetaMask wallet again, and you automatically get back to the very step where this wallet window has been closed, or where have been kicked out of this wallet window, like it's in the Putin Coin bridge. And we just hit confirm, and you see the transaction is pending. Chuck, and transaction receipt. We have successfully, as you can here see, sold 5,000 Putin coins against Binance coins. Those 5,000 Putin coins have been deducted here. If you remember, we had 7,000, now we got 12,000, and before it we had 6 euros in Binance coins, and now we got 8.70 euros. And that's all. You know how easy it is, how cool it is, how wonderful it is, and how safe this is. And this will be the future of trading in the blockchain, because you will not be dependent of any third party when using decentralized exchanges, when you going into the DeFi, decentralized finance market, and now you can do so with a Putin coin. We now trade it, and instead of 9,900, we now got 12,300 Putin coins because we made successful trades. We got more Putin coin tokens, And now we want to swap back or wrap back our Putin coin tokens into real Putin coins. And that's the next step and final step I want to explain in this tutorial. To do so, we can safely close PancakeSwap now because we don't need it. We can close also this and we can go back to our bridge. And at this time, we don't need to have the wrap Putin coin section. We just want to have the unwrap W Putin coin token session. And we just click on it and it's more easy than wrapping Putin coins. You just enter the amount of Putin coin tokens you want to rewrap into normal Putin coins, and here you be careful, you need to enter a valid Putin coin address in the normal Putin coin blockchain. If you remember, the normal Putin coin address are starting with a P, and this is the place and the field where you have to enter it. The bridge won't let you have entered a wrong and invalid Putin coin address. You won't be allowed and get the button to unwrap the Putin coins if you enter an invalid address, but you can enter a wrong address which goes to another wallet, and that you must be careful. If you enter a wrong address here, your Putin coin will be lost. This is also here in this short description. The easiest way to take care that you got the correct address, the correct receiving address for your normal Putin coin you need to rewrap is to use the copy function, which is available in the staking wallet, in the mobile wallet, and also in the web wallet we're using at the moment. And to use it, we just need to go to our web wallet. Then we have to hit copy address, and you see this address PKUENAM is copied to our clipboard. Then we hit OK. We go back to the bridge and we enter or we insert the clipboard into this Putin coin address field. So the next thing we want to enter or we need to state is the amount of Putin coins we want to rewrap, the amount of Putin coin tokens we want to rewrap into normal Putin coins. Now, so here we got a minimum amount of 10,000 Putin coin tokens, like we had this minimum amount of 10,000 Putin coins in the wrapping process. We now decide to enter a whole amount. We don't need to have some comma, and we need just to enter 10,000, and we get this button now, redeem wrap Putin coin. Just take care that you have enough wrap Putin coin tokens in your wallet to get out those 10,000 W Putin coin tokens you want to reswap. If you don't have enough Putin coin tokens, you will get an error in the MetaMask wallet when you try to initiate the smart contract command. Okay, we have 12,300 Putin coins. It's enough. We got the correct address. We got those 10,000 minimum. And now, as in the wrapping process, there is 1% wrapping fee or unwrapping fee in this case. It will be deducted and we won't get 10,000 normal Putin coins back. We just get 9,900 real Putin coins back from the custodian, from the administrator, but we need to give 10,000 tokens for it. This is the fee we use for maintaining this service free for you. Good. As we got the correct values now, we just hit redeem wrap Putin coins. MetaMask opens in order to confirm the respective transaction. So we will burn, as it's called in the blockchain jargon, 10,000 Putin coin tokens, W Putin coin tokens. We confirm this transaction, and the bridge now waits for the transaction to be effected, and 10,000 W has burned. Please be patient as your Putin coins, as you can see, will be released by the custodian. And this will also take up to 24 hours, like the wrapping process. And normally it's between 10 minutes and 6 hours or so. But you can safely leave the bridge now, have a look at your wallet, so every 2 or 3 hours. And when the admin releases your coins out of the custodian treasure, you will get your real Putin coins back sent to this wallet address. So it's 1 hour now since we've left the web wallet. Let's have a look if the bridge admin has already processed our unwrapping request. Therefore, we log into our wallet again. And yeah, as you can see, we've received 9,900 Putin coins. This is the amount of the 10,000 Putin coin tokens minus the 1% bridge fee. So we now successfully transferred wrapped Putin coin tokens into real or normal Putin coins again, and can use them as we were used to use it before. We can stake them, we can sell and trade them on the normal spot exchanges, and if we want to again have and use them on decentralized finance market, we can wrap them again, as we did in the first step of this video. So now we have reached the end of our tutorial. I want to thank you that you have given me the time to explain this new and great possibility for all of the Putin coin fans out of the world. And if you want to know more, there are other decentralized exchanges where the Putin coin token can be traded now. And there are also great tutorials on how to use, let's say, PancakeSwap. For those who are not familiar with how to use decentralized exchanges, there will be links to other videos in the description below. I now have to thank you, and let's make our put-ins into the new decentralized finance market. Have fun and a nice day. Goodbye.